Okay, so a friend of mine recently took up smoking a pipe, and it was his birthday recently, and I wanted to give him something special, so I told him that I would make for him a pipe roll. And so he sent me a couple of things that he wanted, and the one that I picked out that I thought that I could make was one we saw on Etsy, etsy.com, by Charred Embers and Oak. So I'll give you that website here, and you can go get one, because instead of making one, I would recommend you buy one, because they're about $100, anywhere between $89 and $99. So it's worth, in my opinion, it's worth it to buy one of these things rather than make one. But if you do want to make one, here's the process that I followed to make this one. So in 2006, I had the great fortune of going on a safari to Tanzania, and I took this Cape buffalo. So in addition to this wonderful trophy, I also came back with a couple of pieces of buffalo hide that was tanned and stained this cognac color, and that's the material that I'm going to use to make this pipe roll. So the first step was to break out the ruler and get a pencil and get some butcher paper and sketch out what I thought the dimensions of the pipe roll would be when it's all laid out. And this is what it looks like. So the top and the bottom of this cross represent the pouches where the tobacco and the pipe will go. The left-hand side of the cross is going to actually flip over and cover up all of the accessories, and so this right-hand side of the cross over here is going to be where I'm going to sew the pouches for all the accessories. The dimensions of the pouches as they're unfolded are 8 by 8. The dimensions of the flap are 8 by 7, and the dimensions of the pouch piece on the right is 8 inches by 4 inches. You'll notice that I drew in a little wavy cutout, because some of the things in the pouch are going to be smaller than others. So I wanted that part to be smaller, but I didn't cut that out till later. The next step is to cut out the stencil and then lay out the leather and see where to best place the stencil for cutout. Okay, so this is a piece of leather from Cape buffalo. It was taken in Tanzania, and so the problem I'm having with it right now, I've never done anything like this before. We're making a tobacco pouch for a friend of mine. The problem I'm having right now is that the leather is different thicknesses all the way across this piece. So as you can see, this piece of leather is probably twice as thick as that piece. So I have to go through and figure out, I kind of want to work with the thinnest piece of leather because it's going to be the easiest to sew. I'm going to have to sew all this by hand. And going through all of that with a needle, now I've got a speedy sewer, but going through all that with a speedy sewer is going to be kind of tough. So I'd rather go through something like that instead. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the template that I made and move it around in here and find the pieces or the areas that are the thinnest, so we'll have the easiest time to make this thing. So what we're doing now is Alicia is actually tracing out the stencil onto the leather. We figured out where it is that's the best place to cut the leather out with getting the least amount of waste. And we're using a pen that is specifically designed for drawing on leather so that you can wash it off. Once we had the pattern drawn, then it was simply a matter of taking a straight edge and a box cutter and cutting out all the sides. Fairly simple process. So this starts the second phase of the project. There you see our leather piece all cut out, and now it's all about sewing. So the first tool that I bought for this project was the Speedy Stitcher, and it's designed for sewing through very thick materials like canvas and leather. So let's look and see how that went. So we've got your pattern all cut out for the tobacco pouch. Now it's time to sew the two pouches, and one pouch is going to be for your pipe, and the other pouch is going to be for your tobacco. So I'm using a thing called a Speedy Stitcher, which is a sewing awl. It says it's a perfect device for sewing anything, any heavy material. So I'm going to put it to the test. We're putting it to the test right now. The Speedy Stitcher it's like a sewing machine. sewing machine. It's got a bobbin inside up here, and inside of that is a twine, and the twine is this. It's Speedy Stitcher twine, but it's waxed. It's a waxed polyester thread, so it's going to be really strong. And the thread comes out of the bobbin through the handle into the needle. So I'm going to give it a little pull. And so what we're going to do right now, is I've gone through with a sharpened ice pick, and I've made a couple of, not holes, just marks about where we're going to put the holes. And then I kind of get this way so you can see. Then I'm going to kind of line it up in the hole. Now I'm going to lean over on it and put some pressure on it, because I've got to push this through 2 layers. There it goes. There it gave. Now you can see it sticking out a little bit. I'm going to pull it through. Now I got to ease it out just a little bit, just enough to make that loop. And then once I see that loop, I'm going to run this through it. Give it a tug. You can see right here, here it comes. Pull it this way, pull it back, pull it this way, pull it that way, and you can see your little loop there. Oop, and it tightens up. And now it looks like anything that you would have gotten off of a sewing machine, I guess. But it looks really good. I'm getting close. Okay, so it was Alicia's idea to get some of this natural edge of the leather and incorporate it into the design, so that this pocket right here, so we have this pocket already done. This can either be for your pipe or for your tobacco. And then this pocket over here, though, we wanted this natural edge to be on the front leading edge, so that it would be cooler. So we've already done one side, and now we're working on the next side. And after that, we're going to flip this over. We're going to do a nice cool little design cut on here, so you can have your lighter and your tamper and things like that. And over here on the tall side, you'll be able to put your pipe cleaners. And then this will be the place where you can load up your bowl and be able to clean it up later. All right? The work continues. All right, so the pouches are already done, and they fit a pipe on one side and tobacco on the other, as we said. But the buddy of mine I'm making this for is a very proud Texan. So what I did was I went to Tandy and I bought some of these stars. They screw on, so you're just going to put a hole in there and then insert the bottom and then screw it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. I'm going to use my deal. I'm going to measure 4 inches in the middle, because these are 8 inches wide, and then 4 inches in the middle on this side, and put a star there and a star here just for decoration. And I think that's going to make it look really cool. The stars for decoration look really good. The next step was to start sewing the accessory pockets, and there's mine getting started. And you just kind of measured one for the size of the lighter or matches, another for a lighter, and another for pipe cleaners. All right, we finished the project. There were a couple of steps that I didn't show you before in camera or in video, because I didn't have anybody to take the video. And one of the steps was I added these little rivets, and these are cool rivets because I don't know if you can get down close to that, but they look like 12 gauge shotgun shells, and they look like the back of a 12 gauge shotgun shell. And since the person I'm making this for is a big hunter, I thought that was very appropriate. And the way these work is you start with, I just took an awl. In this case, I sharpened an old ice pick. And you take an awl and you start the hole, and then through the hole you put this little piece, and it sticks out. And then you use this, because this little shotgun shell piece fits right inside of that. And then you would put it on top of that, like so. And you bang, 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 hit it with a hammer, and then what it does, the end result is you have something a little bit, it's not quite as pretty on the back, but what it does is it protects that stitch. So every time he opens and closes this thing, it won't, when he pulls on it, it won't be pulling on that stitch. So I've protected the stitches, and I've done it in a way that looks very pretty as well. So so that was one thing I did since since I last videoed. The other thing I did was, voila, I added a what's called a I forgot what it's called now, but it's this piece right here, and this is what you use if you are when you're smoking your pipe. This would sit down like that, and you take your pipe, and I don't have a pipe here, but if I did, it'd be like that, and the pipe would sit in it like that. So you could keep your pipe. You could keep your pipe on the table. The weight of the pipe would hold it down. But you put your pipe right there, and you could set it down, and you wouldn't have to be holding your pipe all the time. So that's kind of a neat piece. And the way I did that was I just cut a strip out, and I was going to sew it because it was so thick, but I was able to get one of these rivets on it to hold it. And then I just took a little small piece, a very thin piece, and put another rivet there. So now you can take this and put that right there. So now we have a place for either a Zippo lighter or matches, and we got another place for a tamper or another lighter, and a place right here for several pipe cleaners, and you have your pipe holder. And one more thing I did, the final piece. So now that you're done with smoking your pipe, then you're going to roll everything back up. This is called a pipe roll. I added this piece right here. So when you're done, you take your strap, and you do 1 and 2, and you just kind of tuck that in there, pull it tight. And now you're ready. Take your pipe, throw it in your backpack, take it with you wherever you want to go. Done. Finished product. Thank you very much.